Hey folks, this is Danny with Stuff I Kinda Care About, and a few weeks ago, Clint left a comment about a sweet adventuring backpack, wanting to see a video about that. He also talked about a box that looks like a rock that holds another rock. I may actually do that, that sounds weird. And then something about his face as a sandwich. Whatever. So Clint, this one's for you. This is my car bag. This is the bag that lives in my car all the time. I have obsessive compulsive personality disorder, and so there is a lot of stuff in here that is, quite frankly, overkill. I'm really not gonna need it in the course of my life, in all probability, but having it here kind of shuts up that anxiety in my head. So for me, that's worth it. Also, full disclaimer, I'm not a professional about any of this stuff. These are things that throughout the course of my life, I've either been in a situation where my car broke down on the side of the road and been like, man, I wish I had this. Or I've had to go pick up a friend and wished that I had this stuff, or had it and everything went super smooth. So this is just kind of my aha list. Yours will vary. I live in the southeast of the United States. Winter does not get super cold. If you're driving around in the winter, obviously have something for some heat. That being said, let's just bust it down, see what's in here. You guys can comment and make fun of me for a bunch of this stuff. That's totally legitimate. First up, good folding knife. This is a zero tolerance. My brother got it for me a few years back. I love that knife. I'm not going to explain why you need to have a knife. If you don't think you need to have a knife, then don't have a knife. That's totally legit. I also carry a multi-tool. This is not a superb multi-tool. It's not like a top-of-the-line Leatherman or anything like that. This is just, I'm not afraid to beat the crap out of it and get some work done with it. Moving into, let's do this little pouch first. So this small pouch is one of the easiest access pouches, and I definitely try to keep things towards the front that stand a larger chance of being needed. I have some interesting allergies. I'm allergic to shellfish and citrus and stuff like that. So I keep Benadryl right there in case I have a reaction. Band-Aids. Don't really need to explain why you have Band-Aids. Gloves. If I have to deal with somebody else that's bleeding, I would rather have gloves. So that one's done. Sweet. We're going to move on to this little pouch up here. Hooray. Bottle of ibuprofen, tape, Tums. If you've ever had heartburn and not had Tums, you'll understand why I have Tums. Wet wipes. Super good for, I realize I just flashed that and got rid of it. Super good for cleaning your hands off. As somebody that likes not having dirty hands, that's fantastic. I got a few snacks in here. I'm kind of partial to these. These things are super rad, and in a situation where you need to keep walking for a little while, it's awesome. Each one of these bars, there are 2 in here, is 100 calories. And there's no trans fats or anything, so they're actually pretty rad. And also some of the Cliff energy shots, 50 milligrams of caffeine. This is 100 calories. So I've got some stuff to keep me moving. Playing cards. These are waterproof playing cards, just to kind of keep my mind occupied. Tweezers, because tweezers are super awesome. Sharpie, because sometimes you want to doodle when you are broken down on the side of the road, and paper upon which to doodle. Plastic rain poncho. This is one of 2 ponchos I have in here. This is my, if I have somebody else with me, they can use a poncho and not have to be miserable in the rain while I'm using a poncho. Dude shower wipes. Love these things. Each wipe is 10 by 8 inches, so yay-ish. And it's basically a shower in a little plastic bag. Those things are nice to have if you end up breaking down on the side of the road and having to change a tire on your way to something else. You don't have time to get cleaned up. those are great. At least you won't smell like the horrifically sweaty creature that you are. I have a tiny little pouch up here. I think it's a sunglasses pouch. Flashlight. I like having a flashlight. And then we're going to jump into the big pouch. Honestly, again, most of this stuff is probably overkill. This stuff is all like really nice, really useful. We're getting to some of the overkill. I keep a couple of bottles of water. I like to stay hydrated. This is a change of underwear, socks, and I think a spare t-shirt. Yeah, I think it is a spare t-shirt. In a dry bag, I'd rather have it and not need it. You're going to hear that a few times. Getting into the zippered pouches. More gloves, tampons, and gauze. I'm not done talking about the tampons. Gentlemen, step it up. You have women in your life that you love and respect. Carry tampons. Carry pads. Show them some love. Let them know that you've got them. Let them know that it's not a big deal if they have to ask you for them. They're also dead useful for many other things. I don't have to carry as much gauze in this pack because I've got pads. It's great as a wound dressing. But I promise you, the women in your life deserve the respect that you have for them to carry this stuff. That was not worded properly. You know what I mean. I'm not good at talking today. More tape. I got weirdly serious. This is just like sports tape, so I like tape. I know, I'm also that nerd that buys a ton of school supplies. A little bit of cordage. I like carrying cordage. This is the poncho that I use when it's rainy and when I need to not be super wet. I have another one that I've kind of beaten the crap out of, and that stays in a different area of my apartment. This one lives in my car because it hasn't been opened, so it's packed nice and small, and it's super organized. More wipes. These are probably the most overkill thing. These are flushable wipes. I'm aware that they're not super biodegradable. I'd rather not leave them in the woods, but if I'm stuck in the middle of nowhere and there is a number 2 on the horizon, I would like to have those. Hooray, road flares. If it is dark and I'm on the side of the road, I want to have some road flares just to let people know that I'm there. It's a great courtesy to other drivers, and also it's so much better to for people to be like, hey, what's this? What's this big red shiny thing? Than to accidentally run into you when you're changing a tire, which would really kind of kill the mood. This bag is stuff that I use to change my tire. I have a spare in my car, and the spare takes different lug nuts than the stock rims on my car. So I've got all that stuff in here, plus an adjustable wrench and a set of channel locks in case I gotta use them. Again, I'm over-prepared. Hooray! I probably don't need it, but I have another small little first aid kit in here. This has a miniature, like an adorable little pair of trauma shears. Tape, band-aids, gauze, Q-tips, that sort of stuff. And then this is kind of my, like, self-built fire slash things are not going well kit. This one, you know what? This video is running long. I'm just going to break this down in another video, probably later this week. I don't need to go into it. But this is everything I keep in my car at all times. And it's weird because I've actually had to replace multiple parts of this, specifically gloves and gauze, like the medical supplies, the tampons and pads. I've had to replace those. I've already ran through an entire thing of the normal wet wipes. I've already run through a bottle of the ibuprofen, the Tums, a bunch of the tapes. The road flares I have not used, obviously. So this is the stuff I keep. If this sparks an interest in you to start kind of trying to be a little bit more prepared and have it in case you need it. I've said it before, I'll say it again, I'd much rather that be the case. I would rather this stuff sit in my car and all of it just go bad and I never get to use any of it because I don't like having to go through changing a tire in the rain or my battery dying when I'm in the middle of nowhere. Those are not fun things to go through. But I've got it if I need it, which is super fun. Yes, there are also carabiners here. I like carabiners. I think my phone just went off. I forgot to silence it. Sorry. Alright, I'm wrapping it up. Thanks so much for watching. Have a fantastic week. Yeah, this will go out on Monday. So have a fantastic week. If you're liking it, subscribe. If you're not, let me know why. Please give me some ideas of what to do next. And hopefully, we continue to have some fun here. Catch you cats later.